Today we're kicking things off with our international correspondent, Alex Newman. Hello, Alex.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks so much, Duke.
Well, there's a story that actually broke almost a month ago, to be honest, and yet, in spite of that, it's gotten almost no national play. This is how badly our journalistic betters, so to speak, are burying the lead here. Y'all remember when the school board unions contacted Joe Biden and begged for help against these protesting moms, and we know that Joe Biden and the Department of Education Secretary, they actually sent federal agents to treat moms and dads as if they were domestic terrorists. But what has not been reported is your article right here that we have today is about how the FBI and other agencies have been absolutely following and putting dossiers together, and in some cases even doxing these families.
Yeah, it really is an incredible story, Duke. It's the kind of thing that you expect from like a third world dictatorship where the regime weaponizes its law enforcement and security agencies against peaceful protesters, against peaceful individuals expressing their displeasure. And so what we have here, dozens of cases revealed by whistleblowers to members of Congress where the FBI, their counterterrorism resources, no less, were used to spy on and to target moms. In fact, one member of Moms for Liberty was targeted because she told a school board member, "We're coming for you." And according to the FBI, she was a member of a right-wing moms group and apparently owned a firearm. And so when the FBI went to go terrorize her and ask her questions, she said, "I just meant we were going to vote them out," okay? Which is, of course, what any sane, normal, rational person would understand from "we're coming for you" in a political context, right? Then they had a dad who was reported to the snitch line and investigated, again, using counterterrorism resources because he was against the masks. And some Democrat who had heard about the snitch line reported him and said, he believes conspiracy theories and he talks like an insurrectionist because he rants about the government. Wow, quick, stick the FBI on him. And then, Duke, adding insult to injury, some Democrat hack actually reported elected Republican officials who were speaking out against the vaccine mandates, and the FBI investigated this. They put together a terror tag, edu officials. It's unbelievable. Again, this is the kind of stuff that happens in third world dictatorships, and it's happening now in America.
Well, isn't it interesting that all of these liberal public school systems and universities created these bias response teams, right? Where you encouraged liberal kids to take offense at everything, and then you called it in, and everything was investigated. Isn't it interesting now that at the highest levels of the American federal government, that's exactly what they are doing? Because you know as well as I do that these snitch lines, these reporting avenues at the federal government, none of them are interested or ever going to involve an investigation of a liberal who's out of control or a progressive who threatens conservatives. It's never going to happen.
That's exactly right. And I mean, that was just proven. We saw multiple American cities burned to the ground. We saw billions of dollars worth of damage. We saw police officers shot by activists, by Black Lives Matter people, by Antifa people. We saw 2 police precincts, one hijacked in Seattle by Antifa thugs, another burned to the ground in Minneapolis by Black Lives Matter thugs. And the FBI says, "Oh, no, there's no problem here. Antifa's just an idea, right? What do you mean?" Meanwhile, moms and dads speaking out at school boards, counterterrorism resources, people who maybe trespassed in the Capitol after being invited in by police, quick, throw them away, lock them up, throw away the key, and treat them like prisoners of war or something. I mean, this is so dangerous, Duke, and I think a lot of people out there are being really complacent, not realizing that these should be major red flags, no pun intended. I mean, the warning signs are flashing bright red, folks. This is typically what you see right before a nation descends into a dictatorship, where you have the government's law enforcement resources weaponized against peaceful people and used to protect violent terrorists who are trying to bring down the previous order.
Underline, the American government is now weaponized not against foreign terrorists, against American citizens, particularly moms and dads and anybody who would stand in the way of this great great leftist takeover. And this is, don't forget, this is the same federal government who just did nothing about the Sussman case, right? You actually had a completely stacked Democrat jury, and the foreman of whom said, we don't believe that lying to the FBI is really worth prosecuting. Well, I guarantee you, if that mom who had the gun lied to the FBI about what her intentions were, she would be sitting in a jail right now. That's how important it is. But the attitude towards the progressive left is absolute. When we lie to government, that's okay. When you tell the truth about government, America, that's when we're going to come after you.
That's exactly right. And we saw it with General Mike Flynn. They accused him of lying to the FBI. They manufactured that, and they tried to throw him away in prison. Again, we have a two-tiered justice system, and I hope parents will take this to heart. Look, they said, well, if you don't like it, then run for school board. Okay, well, we tried that. If you don't like it, go tell your school board. Okay, we tried that. And what happened? The FBI was deployed to terrorize and monitor us. This is where we're at in America, folks. If you think these people have your children's best interest in mind, you are simply kidding yourselves. Only you will be able to protect them.